Hi, I'm Grandpa Gary, and I just got here. Today I'm out here at the sports complex with the new to me E-flite P-51 Mustang. I'm loving this airplane. I've flown it 2 times now, and I've determined that it's primarily going to be flown off of grass. When I flew it off the pavement, I really struggle with the tail spin thing that it does. And yeah, so it's a little bit easier off of grass. And so if you have the ability to land, or at least land in grass, it takes off okay off of pavement. Um, it I didn't go near slow enough on the throttle when I took off from the pavement, and it turned left pretty hard, but luckily this thing has a massive amount of power and it took off really quick. I just gunned it, and it was probably less than 10 feet and it was in the air. But today is the 4th of July, and I thought the Mustang would be perfect for today's flight, and so I brought it out here, and we're gonna have some fun hopefully. And let's get this thing in the air and see how it does. All right, left, right, up, down, left, right. We're good. Making sure the switches are right. I had the gear switch as if they were retracted, so I just flipped it. We are safe as off. The wind is coming out of the south. We got the airplane pointed into the wind, and I'm hoping I can hold try not to make it turn on, it seems to want to turn on the takeoff. So if I just need to ease into the power really slow, I'm gonna hold some up elevator just to get it rolling, and then we need to back off as much as I can without letting the nose come down and propeller dig into the grass. Which is, it sounds easy, but it's a little bit of a struggle for me. But so it's rolling pretty easy. There, it's turning. So let's try it again. Maybe I need to use a little rudder adjustment. I don't usually do a whole lot of steering on the takeoff, but we'll try it today. See if I can get this to work out. All right. Make sure I'm in high rates here. Okay, in the middle. Yep, I'm good. Alrighty, we'll try this one more time. Full up elevator, get her rolling. It's actually, now it's turned just a little bit. There we go. Alright, so right rudder, trying to hold it straight. Here we go. That wasn't bad. I'll take that. Oh, sorry about that. One thing I didn't do is use any flaps on the takeoff. Gear going up. Those flat covers with the timing, that's super cool to see that. I do have the sun in my face just a little bit, so I am struggling to try and keep it out of my eyes. There'll be a lot of low passes because I don't want to get the airplane up in the sun. I can get out there and do a little bit higher pass. Kind of keeping that scale speed as I go around. Don't want to get too slow, of course, but ooh, really low. I'm using the rudder to straighten that out. About half throttle there. And get it in the downwind here, we'll go full throttle. Rolling out at the top. All that speed in the turn, definitely helping out. So a little bit out of shape there coming out of that wing over. I don't know if it was the wind. We do have 8 to 10 today. It's not horrible, but it's enough to affect the airplane just a little bit. Just kind of taking it easy with this airplane, trying to get a good feel for it, being only my third flight with it. I am flying on the Spectrum 4000 Gen 2 battery, and it seems to be a good balance for it. It feels good, and I had pretty decent amount of percentage on the battery after the 5-minute flight, and I've gotten very accustomed to 5-minute flights because of YouTube, and so I'm not really looking for long flights for myself, but if you're interested, this airplane definitely can hold a 5,000. The 4,000 does feel small as far as size inside the battery compartment, so there's plenty of room. I don't know if it can do a 7,000 6S, but the 5,000 would fit in there really good. And many of you seen the videos with the pits where I had to make the stopper. This one actually already has a stopper built into the canopy for the battery. So clearly when this airplane came out, they've already learned their lesson on the battery sliding, the battery tray sliding out. And so it's not an issue with this airplane, but with my FMS P-47 and my FMS pits, they both need that tray stopper of some type. The P-47 is a different challenge though, because unlike the P-51 here in the pits, it's at an angle, and so it's not an issue for it sliding in right side up flight, but if you get it upside down, then it's angled down, like it wants to slide out, just straight inverted flight. So my timer went off telling me it's time to bring this thing in for a landing, and so we're gonna line this up, get the gear down, do gear check. Coming down nice and slow. Looks good. I see all three. And that's one thing with the P-51. You do have to check for that third wheel in the back, because it does retract. Here we go. One click on the flaps. You want to slow this thing down coming in. And don't want to shut the throttle off. Oh, well, let's go around. Little bump there. So I heard the retracts work, or the shock absorbing function of the struts. We're gonna go full flaps this time. I'm at half throttle. Backed it off to about 30%. And you don't want to stall this. But carrying a little speed, you can see it's floating on me. I was trying to carry some speed to hold it straight, because you need that air from the propeller across the rudder to be able to hold that straight. And that it turned out good, except for that it lifted into the air again. And you can see the wind is actually keeping me from being able to turn it, and then it's wandering as it goes through the grass. And there's there's a bump right here, so hopefully we can get through that. I did do that whole flight in high rates. I suppose I could have turned the flaps off here for the taxi back. So that's the P-51 Mustang by E-flite. It's the 1.5 meter, flying on 6S, 4,000 milliamp hour battery. And let's open up the compartment and look inside, just so you guys can see where the battery is sitting. You got to release this little lever to pull the canopy off. As you can see, the battery's clear up in there. And see on the bottom of the... Hold it this way, you guys can see it. They got that stopper there to keep the battery from sliding back. Very handy. So that's the P-51 Mustang by E-flite. I just love flying this thing, and as I get better at taking off and landing, it's gonna just look amazing in the air and look so scale. I love this airplane. Guys, I really appreciate everybody's support. You guys are the ones that are supporting this channel, and I appreciate it so much. And I don't know what else to say, but big thank you to you guys. Big thanks to the Lord that I can enjoy a beautiful day like this on the 4th of July with you guys. And until next time, I'm Grandpa Gary, and I just got here.